Have you ever gotten that urge to start your own side business, but you just stop? Because you feel like you don't have that one single brilliant idea? Well, what if I told you that you don't actually need one? Today, we're going to break down a framework called the Spike Method. And honestly, it might completely change how you think about starting a business.
So let's just kick things off with this quote, because it's bold, it's pretty counterintuitive, and it's probably the exact opposite of everything you've ever heard. Starting a side hustle is easy, actually. I know, it sounds a little crazy, right? But stick with me here, because we're about to unpack why this statement is way truer than you might think.
And here it is. This is the big one. The question that stops so many of us dead in our tracks. I'm not an inventor, or I don't have $1 million app idea, or I just can't think of anything new. This right here is the #1 mental block, and we are going to take it apart piece by piece right now.
So why does that happen? Well, it's all because of this thing we call the genius idea myth. It's this belief that to start something, you have to be some kind of visionary, like a Steve Jobs or an Elon Musk. And that pressure, that single idea, is very likely the biggest thing holding you back.
I mean, you know the story, right? We see it in movies, we read about it all the time. This lone genius in a garage who gets hit by a lightning bolt of inspiration that just changes the world. We're basically taught to just sit around and wait for that perfect, revolutionary moment. But what if I told you that's not how it works for most successful businesses?
All right, let's completely reframe this. The simple truth about business isn't about inventing something out of thin air. It's about solving something. It's not about having some brilliant, complicated idea. It's just about providing clear and simple value.
And what's really cool about this slide is how clearly it lays out the mental shift we all need to make. That old mindset, it's paralyzing. It demands that we invent something totally new. But this new mindset, it frees us up. It just asks us to find and solve a common, even kind of boring problem that people already have. And here's the key: understanding what value really is. It's not some big, abstract concept. It's just the benefit someone gets when you solve their problem. A business is nothing more than an exchange. You provide a solution, and a customer pays you for making their life easier. That's it. That is the entire game.
Okay, so that all sounds good in theory, but how do we actually do this? Let's get practical. This is where the Spike Method comes in. And it's not just a theory. It's an actual, actionable set of steps to put this whole new mindset to work.
Now, to make this crystal clear, we're going to forget about complex tech startups and all that. We're going to use one of the most straightforward, down-to-earth examples you can imagine: a pressure washing service. Absolutely no genius idea required.
So here are the 3 steps in action. Step 1. Find a niche problem. You just look around and notice the driveways in your neighborhood are kind of gross and dirty. Boom, that's a problem. Step 2. Create a service spike, a really focused solution. You're going to be the reliable local pressure washing person. And step 3, and this is crucial, get just one customer. Not 1,000, not 100, one. Just find one neighbor and make their driveway look amazing.
I mean, this just hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? Forget about being the biggest or the best on a global scale. The goal is to just be the best solution for one person, right where you are. That's how real businesses actually get started, by solving a small problem for someone nearby.
Okay, so you've helped one person. That's awesome. But how do you turn that one job into something more? Once you've proven you can solve the problem, how do you actually grow? Well, the answer is leverage.
Leverage is such a powerful concept. All it means is getting more results without you having to personally put in more hours. It's really about working smarter, not just harder, by using tools that multiply your effort.
And there are 2 main levers you can pull to scale this thing up. The first one is media, and its entire job is to find you more customers. This is how you get the word out. Think social media, maybe some local ads, or even just old school flyers. The second lever is labor. This is how you actually do the work as demand grows. You can't be in 2 places at once, so this means hiring some help, partnering with a friend, or even outsourcing parts of the job.
So let's apply this right back to our pressure washing example. For media leverage, you could post those super satisfying before and after videos in a local Facebook group. For labor leverage, once you start getting busy, you could hire a friend to help you out on the weekends. You see how that works? Now you're doing more work and finding more customers, all without having to clone yourself.
And you know what's really incredible about media leverage today? The potential upfront cost. Posting a video on social media, that can cost you exactly $0. You can literally start finding customers for free, which is something that was pretty much unimaginable just a couple of decades ago.
All right, so we've busted the myth, we've laid out the method, now we get to the final, and honestly, the most important part, turning this all back to you. What could your service spike be?
So I want to leave you with a direct challenge, and it's a simple one. Don't try to dream up a billion-dollar company. Just ask yourself this one question. What boring, annoying problem could you solve for just 5 people in your community this month? Could you mow some lawns? Organize a few garages? Walk a couple of dogs? The options are literally all around.
So just remember this. Your first, or maybe your next, side hustle isn't locked away in some revolutionary idea that you haven't had yet. It's hiding in plain sight, probably disguised as a simple, everyday problem that's just waiting for someone like you to solve it. The only real question left is, what are you going to do about it?